I must not go to sleep, I must not go to sleep. I told myself. I was struggling to stay awake watching the 10 o'clock news. Although the government had won the last election by a landslide and dominated both the lower house and upper house, it was clear to everyone that the country was in the last days of a dying administration. Many had thought that the leader who won the last election was the worst leader the country had ever had, and it was quite obvious that he was manifestly unsuitable to be the head of state, as one of his own party had said that he was not a details man. And a head of state needs to be a details man. He was also a wannabe populist strongman and was at best ambivalent about defending democratic norms. Like all populist leaders, he pretended to be a defender of women's rights whilst undermining them, was very obviously racist, and was anti-trans. I had not been particularly bothered about trans issues until I had started having those dreams, but it was something now that I was becoming conscious of. One might have hoped that the leader's lack of moral integrity and inability to tell the truth might have been his downfall. He had after all lost numerous jobs because of his record mendacious behavior, but the leader's inability to run his own party, let alone the country, was ultimately the final straw, and he was forced out of office. This then led to a beauty contest between the next two leaders of the country. As proof that the party's own mechanism for selecting the party's candidate to be head of state or leader of the opposition was deeply flawed, the party then chose the worst possible candidate to be head of state. The country now knew that it was possibly to make a catastrophe even worse by electing a leader who was over-caffeinated. So the government abandoned its own mechanisms to select a leader and put in the loser of the beauty contest as head of state. Although the new head of state had demonstrated political misjudgment on a number of occasions, including losing the beauty contest to the over-caffeinated one and thinking it was a good idea to pollute the country's waterways and the air that we breathe, he was at least slightly less incompetent as a leader than the last two leaders. He was, however, clearly tired and out of ideas and appeared to be intending to run his next campaign on allowing polluters to continue to pollute and reviving the anti-trans ideas of the mendacious one. He had been inspired to become the pollution candidate on a night when the party lost 2 out of 3 of its seats in the lower house. The seat that the party had held on to and was seeking to claim as a glorious victory had returned the party's candidate on the resignation of the mendacious one. The problem, for anyone who looked at the electoral history of the seat, was it was not so much a glorious victory as a victory for the party by the skin of its teeth. You see, the local electorate had always returned a party representative, and this was the smallest majority that it had ever won the seat by. But the party was determined to see this Pyrrhic victory as a glorious victory. The opposition now had the air of a government in waiting, and the commentary was about when, not if, they would become the government. So I was struggling to take any interest in the news, and my eyes were starting to close by the time the newsreader had finished the first story. I was dreaming of running down a passageway until I reached a room. I was wearing a white silk bra and panties under a white chiffon baby doll nightdress with a lace trim and sky blue ribbons. I had long blonde hair tied in a long updo. At that point I woke up. My wife was sleeping next to me. It had been another one of those dreams. I reached down for my penis and felt my hands touch the chiffon and lace of the baby doll before the silk of my panties. Dream girl. Part 2. You see, I had been a normal heterosexual man before I started having these dreams. It started some weeks ago when I dreamt that I was wearing scarlet lipstick and then trying to speak, but no sound came from my lips. It was such a vivid dream that when I woke I went to the bathroom to check if I was really wearing lipstick, and to my horror I saw that I was indeed wearing scarlet lipstick. It tried to remove it with tissues but could not. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking my wife painted my lips whilst I was sleeping. It would suit what you think are the facts from what I have told you so far. I have said that I have a wife, and I have told you that when I woke from my latest dream I found myself dressed in a chiffon and lace baby doll wearing white silk panties. The problem with your theory is that when I had that first lipstick dream, my wife, Sarah, was not even in the country and there was no lipstick in the house. Fortunately for me, I was eventually able to find some of Sarah's wipes to remove it with so that I did not have to go to work the following day wearing lipstick. The next night I dreamed of wearing lipstick again, but this time I dreamt that I was wearing mascara too. There were these figures in the trees in front of me, but although there was a full moon, I could not see them clearly because of the mist. When I woke, I was not entirely surprised that I needed to remove not only my lipstick but also my mascara with Sarah's wipes, but I noticed that they were running out. It was still a few days before my wife was due to return to the country, so I faced a choice: go out tomorrow morning with whatever makeup I was wearing when I woke from another of these dreams and go to work wearing it, or go to the beauty section of the supermarket or wherever it was you go to get some new wipes today so that I was prepared. I was nervous about being in the feminine beauty section of the supermarket and thought that I might get arrested for being some sort of pervert. I hurriedly picked up the first wipes I could find, paid for them, and quickly rushed out of the store. I was relieved as I thought about what I had just done. I had never done this before. There was obviously either nothing all that abnormal about a man buying wipes or that I was not considered a pervert for doing so. Maybe it was a combination of both of the above things, or maybe neither. But I now knew it was possible for me, a man, to be in the ladies' aisle. Having bought the wipes, I was puzzled when the next morning I did not need them. If I had dreamed, it was not one of these dreams. So when Sarah got back home, I had not used the packet of wipes at all. "I see you bought me some wipes, sweetie. That was really thoughtful of you," Sarah said when she found them. I thought these dreams had stopped, so I let Sarah think that I had bought them for her. And Sarah continued to think I had until she woke the following morning and saw that I was wearing lipstick, mascara, eyeliner, and eyeshadow. "It looks like you have discovered a new hobby, Luke," Sarah said, waking me. "It's not what you think," I said. "Let me explain." "Yes, I think perhaps you should. Does this mean you're gay? Presumably you have a secret cache of women's clothes, or do you just borrow mine?" Sarah was bombarding me with questions as I had just opened what I was sure would be my mascara-covered eyes. "No, it's not like that." "No, you're not gay, or no, you don't have a secret cache of women's clothes?" "Both. I'm not gay and I don't have a secret cache of women's clothes." I went to check my face in the bathroom mirror. Sarah followed me. "I've been having these dreams." I was now wearing not only lipstick and mascara but also eyeliner and blue eyeshadow. "I guess your look would be better with blonde hair," Sarah teased as she started her morning makeup routine. By the way, I had short auburn hair. I went over my face with the wipes, but it seemed like I was still wearing my mascara and lipstick. "Here, let me do it," Sarah said, putting her mascara wand back in her mascara. She went over my face with the wipes. But it was no good. I was still wearing my lipstick. It would not come off. "Oh well," Sarah said, "it seems that all we can do is this." Sarah sat me down on the edge of our empty bath and before I knew it or could stop her, had picked up her mascara and has started doing my eyelids with it. "Hey, we were meant to be taking it off," I said, grabbing her arm as she went for my other eye. I let go of her arm. "I don't know what's going on, babe," Sarah responded, doing my other eye, "but it doesn't seem like there's anything we can do about your lipstick. Tell me, when did your dreams start?" 4 nights ago. The first night I was just wearing lipstick, then the second night mascara dash, I said. "And the third night eyeliner or eyeshadow?" Sarah interrupted. "Neither," I said. "In fact, no makeup at all." "I see, so it seems like you buying your wipes stopped you having any makeup 2 nights ago," Sarah said. "But you hadn't used any last night and I had my own left over from my trip, so your wipes didn't stop what happened this morning and instead you are back where you would have been if you hadn't bought the wipes." This morning was the third morning you woke having dreamt of wearing lipstick and we cannot remove it. So will the mascara that I have just applied come off, I wonder? Shall I take off your mascara or do you want to leave it on as you are going to be wearing lipstick anyway? Sarah asked. I had intended to say take it off, but as Sarah pointed out that I was going to be wearing lipstick anyway, I was caught in two minds and then found myself saying, no, leave it on. So I spent my first day wearing lipstick and mascara. I had expected to be challenged about it or possibly even attacked, so I was surprised when no one I passed on the street said anything. I got some funny looks, but that was all. That night as we were getting ready for bed, Sarah said that she thought we ought to try an experiment. Let's see what happens if you don't take off your mascara tonight, but I don't put eyeliner or eyeshadow on your eyes. I dreamt again that I was wearing lipstick and I was kneeling by a pool at sunset. There was a pink sky. The pool was like a smaller version of the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. But I was not in the United States of America, I was in some sort of desert landscape. I was not sure where it was, but there were fallen statues of Greek or Roman men everywhere. Unlike in Percy Bysshe Shelley's poem There Were No Trunkless Legs Standing, this was no longer the man's world of the romantic poets, and if I was going to survive I would need to learn to fight like a girl. This was clear to me from the fact that the only thing standing was a statue of the top of a woman's legs, a bit like the cover of the book Fieldwork in Ukrainian Sex by Oksana Zabuzko. The masculine had fallen, the female was all that remained. I had long blonde hair now and wore wearing eyeline and eyeshadow like in my dream the previous evening. I did not need to see my reflection to know this, like how sometimes in your dreams you can see yourself from outside your own body. Then I stirred the water with my hand and it became suddenly darker and there was a full moon and the mist again. It was like it had been in my dream the previous night, save I was still in the woman's world by the reflecting pool. And I was drawn to look at my reflection in the pool, only it was not me because I had long blonde hair and the woman whose reflection I saw in the pool had raven black hair, and as I looked she pulled me into the pool and I had a sense of falling until I woke up with a start like I had just fallen into my own bed. Sarah was in a peaceful sleep like she was a million miles away, although she was lying there next to me. I wanted to nudge her, but I did not have the heart to do so, so I went into the bathroom alone. I was wearing my lipstick as well as eyeliner and eyeshadow, but no mascara. I was puzzled by this as I remembered Sarah doing my mascara. For a moment I thought my hair looked blonde like in my dream and somewhat longer, but I blinked and saw that no, I still had auburn hair. I attacked my eyeliner and eyeshadow with the wipes and had cleaned my face when the thought suddenly dawned on me, my lipstick had become permanent after I had worn it in my dreams 3 times. I had now dreamed of wearing mascara, eyeliner and eyeshadow twice. It was still night time and I was about to go back to bed again. What if I dreamed of wearing mascara, eyeliner and eyeshadow again? I was going to be stuck wearing it, was I not? I looked round frantically for Sarah's makeup kit bag and found her mascara. I set about doing my eyes as I had seen Sarah do them. I looked round her bag for eyeliner, uncertain if she actually used any, and was relieved to find there was some, and I then did my eyeliner. In my dream I had been wearing blue eyeshadow, but I noticed that Sarah only had bronze eyeshadow. I wondered if that would matter as I applied it. Having done my eyes, I went back to bed. In my dream I was wearing my lipstick and I had long blonde hair and I was about to go on stage, but I had no clothes on. A woman in a showgirl costume came up to me. She looked familiar. She was wearing a black and diamond headpiece with black feathers, a black sleeveless top, black leather shorts and heels with straps that matched her headpiece. The woman said in a voice like Sarah's, "Luke, I see you have done your makeup, but you ought to get dressed." There was no time. I stepped out onto the stage and found myself falling again. I woke up. Sarah was standing over me. "Luke, didn't you hear me?" "What?" I asked, rubbing my eyes as I sat up and Sarah drew back the curtains. I usually wore a pair of boxer shorts or pajamas to bed, but I realized that I was naked. I saw there were stains from my mascara and eyeshadow all over my pillow as I brushed my long blonde hair away from my face. I said that I see you did your makeup, but you ought to get dressed, Sarah said. That was what the showgirl in the dream said, I thought. But she was not Sarah, although she sounded like her. So who was she and why was she familiar? I asked myself. It was like she was, no, surely not. I hesitated before accepting the realization that it was like she was a feminized version of me. I looked at the time. I was late for work. I rushed into the bathroom to get ready for work. I wiped the mascara, eyeshadow and eyeliner from my face. It's funny, Sarah, I only dreamed of having long blonde hair twice, but now I seem to be stuck with it, I called out thinking Sarah was still in the bedroom. Are you sure? Sarah said from just behind me, making me jump as I had not seen her come in. You know you would look cute with pigtails. No pigtails, I said, but I did not answer her question. Had I dreamed of having long blonde hair before? Very well, a ponytail it is, Sarah said, taking my hair and fixing it with a pink scrunchie. You need to keep from having to brush your hair from your face all day. It just wouldn't be professional. Don't you have any other color but pink? I pleaded. Sorry, Luke, you know I don't. Are you sure you want to go with a no makeup look? Sarah replied. Well, in case you haven't noticed, I am wearing lipstick, I mansplained. Yes, but it seems a shame with your long blonde hair to stop there, Sarah said with her mascara in her hands. Well, I am not wearing any more makeup than I am already wearing, I said adamantly. Spoilsport, Sarah sulked, doing her own eyes. It's not like I am trying to turn you into a showgirl. What did you say? I replied, turning pale. Was the woman in the showgirl costume, the feminized version of me, something that Sarah had dreamed of that had somehow inserted itself into my dream? How was that even possible? I said it's not like I am trying to turn you into a girl, Sarah replied. What did you think I said? I thought you said a showgirl, I responded, the color returning to my cheeks. The showgirl must have been something that I thought up after all. Now, that would be interesting. Sarah said. Have you ever wondered what I would look like if you turned me into a girl? I asked. I was looking at myself in the mirror when I asked Sarah that and thinking that maybe she was right to propose that I now took to wearing full makeup. It was not like my face did not already look like a woman's face now I had long blonde hair tied in a ponytail behind me and was wearing lipstick. The thought dawned on me as I stood there that not only did my face now look like a woman's face, but that I had not had to shave since my lipstick had become permanent. In other words, I now had a woman's face to all intents and purposes. And it was not just my face, was it? My head had been almost completely feminized, apart from my eyes. In fact, was it my imagination or were my eyelashes looking longer and, well, feminine? Well, Luke, I can't pretend, since we are discussing your makeup, that the thought hadn't crossed my mind. In fact, I've been having the same dream about you having long blonde hair since about the time you first dreamt that you were wearing lipstick. In my dream, I am a stage director. And you are a showgirl. I am instructing you in how to perform. I guess you might say my dream is about me instructing you on how to pass. So maybe I did say showgirl, not girl, and it might be why I just suggested doing your makeup. That puts things in something of a different light, I replied, taking Sarah's mascara from her hands and applying it. You see, I had worked out that what did not look right was not that I was wearing lipstick and had long blonde hair, but that I was not wearing full makeup. Sarah smiled. Do you want extra lashes? Now hold on, Sarah. Just because I am putting on mascara doesn't mean I want you to whip me. I'm not that type of girl, I said. But you are a girl? Sarah replied gently. I don't know, I replied, handing her back her mascara and pausing a moment to look at myself, but I am certainly starting to look like one. And think like one, I thought, but I did not want to admit that. Perhaps you should get dressed, Lucy, Sarah said, spraying perfume on my wrists and passing me a pair of white lace knickers. I had never put on women's clothes before, I thought, as I felt the thrill of putting on my first pair of knickers. As I did so, my penis got caught between my legs like I had tucked it there deliberately. I've never put on women's clothes before, I said. Only my chest still looked masculine now that my penis was tucked between my legs. Well, that depends, Lucy, Sarah replied, producing a matching bra. What do you mean? I said, not only offering no resistance to her putting it on me but actually holding my arms out so that she could put it on me more easier. On whether you see yourself as a woman, of course, Sarah replied, hooking me into my first bra and adjusting my straps. Why? I said, looking at myself in my lingerie. It was hard to see even my chest as masculine now that I was hooked into my bra. I did not realize that I had already had man boobs, but the bra emphasized that my chest was already more feminine than I had thought it was. This is your lingerie you are wearing, Lucy, not mine, Sarah replied. I bought it for you. If you see yourself as a woman, then yes, you are wearing women's clothes, but if you still see yourself as a man, then no, you are wearing men's clothes. A man's bra and knickers? I laughed. That's as ridiculous as the suggestion that I look like a man anymore. No, I can't see myself as a man anymore, but perhaps a cup half-empty woman. What do you mean? Sarah replied, sounding puzzled. My chest could do with some enhancement, I replied, and we both laughed. You're right. It's as well I bought these, Sarah said with a big smile, producing some breast forms which I gratefully took from her and quickly put into my cups. I look and feel like a new woman now, I declared, looking at myself and my now completely feminine-looking body. Well, girlfriend, you now need to decide whether this new woman wants to wear the same suit you wore to work when you were a boy or whether you now want to wear this dress I bought you. Sarah pointed out the pink dress that was now hanging next to my suit in my wardrobe.